It's starting. Well, good morning, Aging But Dangerous. This is Patricia Maltz, and we are here this morning for another wonderful virtual gathering. So put your questions in the chat box, and we will look forward to visiting with you. And I'd like to introduce our CEO and co-founder, Jean Ketcham. Good morning, Jean.
Good morning, Pat. I want to introduce our guest today, Maggie Holbik, and Maggie is a board-certified nutritionist and a certified life coach. She helps people with wellness of body, mind, and soul. And everybody, she lives in Canada, so we are worldwide. So welcome to the show, Maggie. Can't wait to talk to you.
Thanks, Jean. It's such a pleasure to be here.
Now, we have talked off camera many times, so I would like to start with asking you about your morning, what your morning looks like, Maggie. What do you do in the morning when you get up?
Well, that's a perfect question because it is morning and I've recently gotten up. I actually had a nice sleep in today. I was a little behind on my sleep, so I actually slept in and got up when I was done sleeping, and I feel terrific, which is really nice because sleep is so important for our health. But one of the things I do when I get up is I make sure I surround myself with things that bring me joy and make me feel good. So you can see my picture. You might not be able to read it in the background.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it says life is beautiful. So I make sure that when I start my day, I'm looking at things or reading things or doing things that bring me joy and make me feel really good about life. And one of my favorite routines, Jean, and I'm sure some of you have heard me talk about this before, but is my morning routine of a couple of health additions I do. And one is warm lemon water.
Warm lemon water?
Yeah, warm lemon water. And what I do, and I actually have some here, is especially warm now that it's a little cooler here in Canada. We're starting to get into the fall. Today's a rainy day, but I take lemons and I slice them up really, really thin. And I put them in some water. And you don't want it too hot because if you want, you can add a little bit of honey.
Oh.
And yeah, honey's so medicinal and it's antibacterial and it's got so many life-giving nutrients in it, as well as the lemons. So I put either straight lemons or a little bit of honey, depending on my mood. They're both good. And then I put warm water and I just let it sit for a little bit. And then I put it in a cup and I sip on it. So today I always make sure I have a cup that makes me feel good.
Okay, what does that say? What does that say?
This one says follow your heart.
Okay, oh great.
But I have a whole collection, but I always make sure that the things that I'm using raise my vibration when I look at them. I know that life is really short and I want to feel good when I'm here. So I purposely do things that make me feel good and bring me joy. And so when I look at these lemons, they look like a whole bunch of little sunshines to me.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and you know what else I found is when you slice them thinly, the little seeds fall out. And then sometimes I'll add to this for a day or two or even 3, and I'll just add more lemon and more water. And then after that, I don't throw that out. I'll put that in my dishwater. So you get nice, squeaky clean, antibacterial, antifungal dishes.
So how many glasses of lemon juice do you think you drink during the day?
I probably drink 2, maybe 3. Like sometimes I'll leave this sit and then I'll have it later. I'm on the go. Maybe I'm driving. I'll throw some in a cup or what have you. And I love this little craft. This is just a tiny one. This isn't a big one, but I got this at the secondhand store. I love thrift shopping. So recycle, repurpose, help the environment and make someone else's junk your special treasure. So yeah, it all depends on my mood. But lemon water, has it's a good source of vitamin C, vitamin B, and calcium. That's a secret that most people don't know. And a lot of us are low in calcium and magnesium for different reasons. Sometimes we have heavy metals in the body that leach out calcium, for example. So there's different reasons, and we all know as women that we want to, help with the osteoporosis prevention. So vitamins. Calcium and vitamin C and all of those things are really great. But there's a whole host of reasons why lemon water is terrific. But I start with that. So that's one of my routines. And, just going back to the lemons, And I'm just looking, I've got some notes here because there's so many things. It helps with constipation, nausea, parasites, but you can squeeze lemons on anything, on your salad, or if I go to a restaurant, I always ask for a slice of lemon. I'll squeeze it in my water, because what it does, Jean, is it brings the water alive so that you can get those nutrients into your body. And why we do lemon water in the morning in particular is to wake up our liver. I'm all about liver health. Yeah, liver health is where it's at. When we clean up the liver, we clean up our life. And when you think of the word liver, it means life. So today, so many people are suffering from sluggish liver, and the lemon water really helps us to wake it up. So that's, one of the first things I do.
Okay, well, I think you've convinced us of that. I mean, that's really like a miracle. Okay, I want you to talk about your next thing, because I'm very interested in that.
And now, so you're referring to our celery juice?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's another thing. And so for, some of you, you might have heard of celery juice. Everybody's doing it now. A lot of famous people are doing it. But it actually came from, the source is Anthony Williams, the medical medium. And he is somebody I really resonate with. I love his information. In fact, his book is out today. I'm so excited. I have 3 copies coming in the mail, and that's called Liver Rescue. So everybody wants to get a copy of that. It will change your life. Anthony's just amazing, but he is the mastermind behind celery juice. And celery juice is, what you do is you just juice celery. I actually juice a whole stalk of celery in the morning, and I get about 16 ounces or more. And what you're looking for is 16 ounces. And what celery juice, it has mineral salts in it that we so desperately need. And celery juice will help to clean viruses and pathogens from the liver, from the body. It also helps to wake up that liver. But there are so many benefits to it. But my favorite benefit, Jean, and you and I have talked about this before, is with my nutritional clients, I see that so many people are suffering from low hydrochloric acid in the gut.
Yes,
and
I just found that out, Maggie, about myself, and you had mentioned that to me.
So now it's been confirmed.
Yes, it's confirmed.
Wow. And it's interesting, Jean, because most people think they don't have enough acid. They have symptoms, maybe they're taking antacids, which I don't necessarily recommend, but they're doing these things because they've been told, or they think they don't have enough, they have too much acid because they're getting heartburn or whatever it is. And the actual reality is that they're low. They don't have enough. They're not breaking down the foods. They're not assimilating proteins. And really what's happening are those proteins and fats are putrefying and rotting in the gut. So it's very uncomfortable. It's causing a lot of digestive issues. And celery juice is to the rescue on that one. So
Maggie, I have a question. You said that you take a stalk of celery, but I'm thinking you're taking a whole handful of stalk.
A bunch. Yeah. Did I say stalk? I meant to say a bunch. Yeah. And a whole bunch. I go and I buy the big bunch that has, 10 stalks on it. Yeah. So thanks, Pat, for clearing that up.
But that you use a juicer then.
Yeah, you can do 2 ways, Jean. And I have a blog post and anyone can go to see, but you can either use like a Vitamix juicer or a Vitamix blender or a juicer. And I've done both. So you can put all your celery in your Vitamix or a high-speed blender, blend it down, and then take one of those nut milk bags and just strain it out, or some sort of strainer, and drink it. Or you can get a juicer and, put the stalks in, the juice comes out. And like I said, you're looking for about 16 ounces. But with that said, some people, have to kind of work up to that because for whatever reason, they might have a lot of digestive issues, and it actually starts to work on pathogens and they feel it. But other people can go straight to 16 ounces. The big secret is you want to do celery juice straight, not mixing with other, apples or cucumbers. You can do that in another setting. You want to do the celery on an empty stomach so that it's sort of like an isotonic formula in your stomach.
Boy, that's amazing. I can't wait to do that. I read an article on it, and then I talked to you about it. I had read this article, and it was just like, it says it's like a miracle. It's like what it does for the body. So I'm very anxious to hear about that. Can you kind of touch on, I know you have here on your bio that you sent, vitamins for the soul. Can you kind of just touch on that a little bit?
Yes, yes. Jean and Pat, it's absolutely my passion to help the world, and I even get teary-eyed thinking of this, but to have more joy. We're in times where there's a lot of fear and people make decisions based on fear. And, a lot of our suffering and our pain is stemmed from fear and not feeling adequate and not having enough joy in our lives. So for the past, whatever, 12, 13 years, however long I've been a life coach, I've really focused on helping people in whatever way, whether it's one-on-one coaching, I do public speaking, I do a lot of social media, and I love to connect with people on social media. If you're watching this and you want to follow me or follow some of my pages or send me a friend request, I'm open to developing relationships and sharing what I hope is inspiration. And just like the picture or the cup, there's so many ways that we can do it to add more joy for ourselves, but I really believe that it should be a part of your healthcare routine. Finding those things that bring you pleasure. Well, you guys, for example, have a travel group, right? There's yes, and I mean that it brings so many people joy, having new experiences, community, traveling together. There's so many benefits to it, seeing beautiful things in the world, having experiences. So that would be a great example of what I would coach someone on is, maybe be open to those experiences to instill joy and more, pleasure in your life. So that's just an example.
Well, Maggie, I'm telling you, I think you just seem like such a beautiful spirit and such I'm just so impressed with you and what you teach and the things that you say about, all these, wonderful things that you do. And I just so appreciate you coming on this podcast and talking to us. So I think everybody needs to look forward to the fact that Maggie is going to be we're talking to her about this, about being our in-house nutritionist that you can ask questions to. But you'll hear more about that later. We need to work out some details on that. But Maggie, thank you so much. It's just been an honor to be, hear what you have to say. It's just started the morning out great.
Awesome. Well, it's been great to be here. I'm looking forward to spending more time with you ladies and all of the people in your community. And, I just wish for everybody to make sure they make this the best day ever, because guess what? This is the day we're in. So when people say to me, why is it the best day ever? Because it's the one I'm in. Why wouldn't I make it the best day?
Yeah. Well, thank you, Maggie.
Before we go, will you tell people about your vitamin blog?
Oh, yes. Actually, I have two blogs. I have one, just Maggie Holbik blog, that's where I share your soulful messages. So that's Maggiesvitamins.blog. And Holbik is Holbik. Don't put a C in there. And I'm not like the pickle. But and then there's Maggiesvitamins.blog. And just as I'm pretty. It's easy to find if people are looking for help with, say, celery juice. You just search Maggie celery juice, and my article pops up because so many people have been searching it, and so that's one way. But Maggie Holbik Vitamin.blog.com or Vitamins blog, and Maggiesvitamins.blog.com.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you, Maggie.
All right. Have a great day.
You too.